Some Democrats have floated the idea, according to a report from The Hill, of issuing a primary challenge against none other than Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Now, they say they have one person who is an inside Democratic lawmaker, and according to The Hill, that person has said, "What I have recommended to the New York delegation is that you find her a primary opponent and make her a one-term congressperson." The Democratic lawmaker who requested anonymity told The Hill, "You've got numerous council people and state legislators who've been waiting 20 years for that seat. I'm sure they can find numerous people who want that seat in that district." So there's that.
Yeah, I say have at it.
Yeah.
Have fun. I mean, look, I'm not like establishment Democrats who are like, don't you dare ever challenge a single Democrat, you cannot primary Democrats. No, I like primaries. I think primaries are great. So if there are establishment Democrats out there who think that their policies would happen to be more popular than the policies that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has put out there, have at it. You should primary her. Now, I know where I would lean if I lived in her district. I know that her policies certainly resonate with me and resonate with many progressives out there, but who knows, I could be wrong. The whole point of primaries is to ensure that you have the right candidate, not the right party represented in that district. And so they think that this is some sort of threat. No, have at it. I think that it's great.
And what's weird about it is, like, what do they think is a winning candidate? That's what I wanna know. Because they might think, you know what, I can raise a lot of money, because that was one of the draws of Joe Crowley, and that's why he was considered the next person in line to be Speaker of the House, is not because he was aligned generally with most people in America, or especially not people in that district. And there were I found an article in the New York Times that really compared like the two videos that were put out, one by AOC and one by Joe Crowley, and she's riding the subway and he's in a car.
Yeah.
She's like, I live this life, and he's like, I'm really good at putting myself in other people's shoes. And AOC always pointed like, he doesn't live here, he lives in DC, and he's been doing that for a while. But also in the meantime, since she actually went door to door to convince people that she believes in the same things that they believe in and understands literally what their life is like, she's also become a huge star. And she has $2 million she had $2 million that she raised last cycle and had more than $400,000 on hand, according to the campaign finance reports. Not to mention, she just went on Twitch and helped raise $360,000 for the mermaids of the UK. But she can do that from individuals. So now she is a double threat of being wildly popular and able to raise money because she resonates with individuals based on what they believe in.
Exactly.
And she also believes in what they believe in.
Exactly. So she's representing their best interests, which is why she was able to pull off that major upset with this Democrat who seemed to, be next in line, as you mentioned, as Speaker. And there's always concern that politicians will run on some sort of populist message and then immediately fold once they get elected. But she has not done that.
Yeah.
She's staying true to her policy proposal. She's fighting, she does it every day. She's in headlines constantly, either being attacked for nonsense, which then helps her, ironically, or because she's doing things that really do resonate with voters. And so we're having a discussion in the country right now about increasing the top marginal tax rate because of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, because of a 29-year-old member of the House of Representatives. Just let that sink in for a second. She is incredibly powerful. So while establishment Democrats might be a little bitter and salty that she's holding their feet to the fire, look, I believe that a real leader is courageous and unafraid. And I think that they should primary her. If they really genuinely think that their policies are more popular with the voters, then have at it. Like I said, I'm not against primaries. But with that said, I think that this story just shows you how tone deaf they really are when it comes to Democratic voters.
I am just absolutely like, go on. I want to see what it is. Here is kind of the motivation that they cited as a reason why. They said many New York and Congressional Black Caucus lawmakers, this is according to the Hill's report, were also furious with Ocasio-Cortez after a recent Politico report stated that she and the grassroots group aligned with her Justice Democrats We're considering backing a primary challenge to fellow New York Democrat Hakeem Jeffries, a Black Caucus member. You guys know Hakeem Jeffries, an establishment insider who succeeded Crowley as the caucus chairman. And it's weird that, well, first of all, that's completely denied by the Justice Democrats, who have only issued one challenge so far, and it's like a Texas person. I forget his name already, but it is one specific challenge so far. And it's just so weird. It's just a proof that they're like, oh my God, they're gonna primary someone. What am I gonna have to do? Resonate with the electorate?
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's the democracy thing.
Also, what I love about this is they are frustrated with the freshman Democrats in the House because they're not shy about critiquing the establishment Democrats in the party. Like they want them to do better. And so the argument against that is, no, we need party unity, okay? We don't attack one another. But then behind the scenes, like, we got to primary AOC, we got to get her out, right?
Right.
So you're attacking her, and they attack her on a regular basis. Now, in some ways, it's subtle. In other ways, not so subtle. But again, I go back to real leadership requires courage. And there's a lot of anonymous people being quoted in this piece. It's so incredibly weak and pathetic, which is why I want them to do it.
Right, and
just do it.
Do you know what you have now? That candidate might just be like someone who allows them to go back to the same like fundraising wells, but it's also gonna be someone who's gonna be so boring. And right now what you have is an absolute blessing. You have someone who's actually able to talk about issues and communicate their solutions to those issues.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. And also, by the way, like, it's not that AOC was able to galvanize people in her neighborhood. She, according to the New York Times, she galvanized, so she's from the Bronx, but she won in Crowley's neighborhood by larger margins. And there are reports that it wasn't just like Hispanic, it's not that identity politics like, oh, she's a Hispanic woman, so she does well with Hispanic women.
No, she did well with white voters.
She did well with people.
She did well with people,
because she talks about stuff that people actually care about. And it's so frustrating to watch in the wake of this Kamala Harris town hall when everybody's like, well, Kamala Harris is a Black Indian woman. Let me put those 3 facts through my calculator and here's whose vote she should get. No, it's about what you communicate, how you're able to communicate it, and if you look in someone's eye, whether they believe you.
Thanks for watching this free clip of the Young Turks. Don't forget to become a TYT member today. For more exclusive content, join now at tyt.com/join.